All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to talk about Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia and some comments that were made by Gervonta Davis's trainer, Coach Calvin Ford, about not wanting a knockout in the fight with Ryan Garcia. And man, let me tell you, it would probably be the way they were talking would probably be better for the knockout. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division, where we're going to continue the conversation about one of the biggest fights in boxing, if not the biggest fight in boxing, and that is the one between Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. We are roughly 3 weeks out, 21 days. 21 days away. Actually, man, we are exactly 3 weeks away from the fight. Right about now, 3 weeks from now, Ryan Garcia should be on a scale, weighing in at 146 pounds. And if he doesn't weigh in at 146 pounds, he about to lose a lot of money. However, in a conversation that I had with Coach Calvin Ford, the trainer of Gervonta Davis, he mentioned some things that were eye-opening to me about the strategy, or at least not the strategy, about what he would prefer to have happen in that fight. And it is not a knockout. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, join the boxing conversation. We always having really good conversations over here, even if you disagree with what I have to say. Now, if you are new to the channel, though, if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your support. It really, really does mean a lot. Man, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, share the video as well. And thank you to everybody that supports in the super thanks of videos like this. It's a great way to sponsor YouTube channels that create the content that you like. So let's get into this. There's a couple ways to win a fight, man. You can win a fight by several ways to win a fight. Obviously, you can win by a decision. The other way that you can win is you can win by a TKO or a knockout, right? TKO is anything short of them counting to 10 and waving their hands over you. TKO, but TKO is when he beat you so bad, people say stop the fight, or beat you so bad that either the ref says stop the fight, or your corner throws in it and says stop the fight, or a doctor, depending on the rules, a doctor on the side says stop the fight. Now, Ryan Garcia is somebody that gets a lot of knockouts, and he's gotten a lot of knockouts, and he's got a lot of technical knockouts. Same thing for Gervonta Davis, right? Gervonta Davis has gotten a lot of knockouts. He's gotten a lot of technical knockouts. So people talk about this fight and say, look, man, there's only one way it's going to end, which is a knockout. This thing is not going to go the distance. So when I was interviewing Coach Calvin Ford and he said the following, I was really kind of like, yeah, I understand, man. That's kind of brutal, which was this. He's like, look, man, I'm not really looking for the knockout, because people kept asking, him questions about how did you train Gervonta Davis to have the power that he has, right? To be able to generate the power for these knockouts. And Coach Calvin did not answer that question. He's like, look, I don't want to give away my secrets about how, we get, fighters to be able to get knockouts like that. Right. And because they're like, look, man, Gervonta's not the first guy out of that gym to be able to snooze people like that. Right. So, but in the particular fight, he said, and by the way, this fight with Ryan Garcia, I'm not really thinking about a knockout. What I'm thinking about is I really want Gervonta Davis to punish him. I want Gervonta Davis to whoop him, to basically to beat him up over an extended period of time. And so to illustrate what he means when talking about, examples of other fighters, right? So say, for example, you take a classic example of that for me is like Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is somebody that will hit you and he can hurt you and knock you out. right? Either like he did with David Avanesyan, boom, laid him flat on his back, or, you know, he catches somebody with a good shot, he runs up, he rallies, throws a lot of shots, and then the ref stops it, right? Or you have what happened with Errol Spence Jr. and Yordenis Ugas, where Errol Spence Jr. literally beats him up, right? With shots to the body, shots to the chest, consistent shots to the head, but none of them actually render the man unconscious or puts him in a situation where he's wobbling all over the place. However, he hits you so many times with such consistency that he'll break a rib, he'll break a nose, he'll break an orbital bone, right? There's that punishment that comes with that fight that eventually will make somebody want to go away. Now, one example that I saw with Gervonta Davis, and it's a fight that I'm watching over and over again because I think there's some similarities to this fight, which to this Ryan Garcia fight with Gervonta, is the fight with Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios is about 6 feet tall. He's listed as 6 feet tall. He's taller than Ryan Garcia. He's also I think he's a better boxer than Ryan Garcia is. His hands are not quite as fast, but his left hook that's his money punch. Just like Ryan Garcia, he's got that left hand, right? The biggest left hand, right? The biggest punch in the arsenal of Mario Barrios is also his left hook, right? So I did it again. So when I'm looking at this fight, I was looking at it and I've watched it maybe like 3 times, just watching to see how Gervonta Davis rather reacts to the left hand of Mario Barrios. And I'll probably have, when I actually break down the fight and talk about who I think is going to win and what's going to happen, I'll go into more detail with that. However, suffice it to say that fight was an example of beating somebody up. And and really hurting them over a period of time. And that because people kind of portray that fight, because I'm telling you, I did not see that fight live, and I did not see that fight when it actually happened. I didn't see the fight. I heard about the fight. I knew the outcome, but I knew the outcome, but I was, otherwise preoccupied. So I didn't actually get a chance to see the fight. But when I went back and watched it, what I saw was significantly different than the description of it that I heard from people, which was that, basically Gervonta Davis was getting beaten by Mario Barrios the entire time until he winds up catching him with a shot and knocks him out. That's not what happened. Gervonta Davis was literally walking to him and going at him for that entire fight and going to his body and landing big shots to the head and broke that man down. And it wasn't just the 11th round knockout when he dropped him a couple times in the 11th round. He had done the same thing earlier in the fight. I want to say it was like maybe the 6th or the 7th round was the first time where he dropped and hurt Mario Barrios multiple times. But Mario Barrios got out of the round because it was later in the round. Gervonta Davis kind of took the next round off, and then he went right back to it in round 9, 10, and 11. But and he winds up stopping Mario Barrios with a body shot, right? Not an uppercut to the head, not a right hook, but he was literally hurt him with a left uppercut. He also knocked that man down with a right hook, with a big right hook, because he in a southpaw, lead right hook. So I've seen this kind of beating him up type of thing. Now, if Ryan Garcia fights like Mario Barrios, you can see that, because I don't think Ryan Garcia is going to be able to take that amount of punishment for 11 rounds. You may very well see, especially because he doesn't want to make weight. That just makes it just suspect to me. However, I will also tell you that I did see in that fight Gervonta Davis get hit with a big left hook from Mario Barrios that did rock him back up against that rope. And he took the shot. Kind of think he cleared his head for a second because it was a big one. Most definitely, he fainted. Mario Barrios fainted to the body, came up top. landed it right on the button. But then, boom, he kind of recovered, went into a shell a little bit, went right back to systematically breaking this guy down and getting him well before, and they were able to actually go to the scorecards. So that's what I think that there's a good chance that this could look like, and what I think Coach Calvin Ford was alluding to when he said he wanted to punish him. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.